Welcome back to Real Estate Bites, my friend. This is episode number 57. I thank you very much for joining me once again. How's everybody out there doing today? I can tell you right now that this morning's F3 workout challenge has got me dragging, boy. It was a doozy, and I'm feeling it. I think your boy here might be taking a nap after today's episode. At any rate, welcome back to Real Estate Bites. This is a weekly program that goes live on Facebook and LinkedIn. Used to go live on X, but I guess I got to pay for that now, and I haven't looked into that. So at any rate, every week, Friday at the lunch hour, we bring you real estate news, insights, like to pull the curtain back on the industry and show you some insider information every once in a while. And today we're doing just a bit of that. So I've talked in recent episodes about the slack in demand and what's going on. All-time low number of sales recorded in 2023, and it looks like 2024 is going to be even lower. Showing you some articles about this, but I wanted to bring on a couple agents on the team who have been having fantastic years, and they've been spending a lot of time in the field with these buyers to see exactly what was going on. So I invited Lisa McConaughey and Molly Safran of my Right Sales team to come on to the program and talk to us about what they are seeing in the marketplace so that you guys know what's going on, whether you're a buyer and especially if you're a seller. This is pretty important information. So again, if you have friends or family who are considering listing a home, this is important information to get to them. Please share these episodes with those who you think might be interested. So without further ado, before we get to Molly and Lisa, let's take a look at this week's chuckle. When your clients are talking about the house in front of the Ring camera, that's right, be quiet. Whether it's a Ring camera, an Amazon Alexa, there's all kinds of devices that can be put in a home. Some are obvious, some are very, very discreet. Whether you see something obvious or not, we are in a technology age. We're in an Internet of Things age where you never know what might be listening. Shoot, I mean, you might be in a house, if it's a high-end home with high-end stuff, you might be standing in front of a refrigerator that's listening to you. Okay, so be careful when you're out there looking at homes, especially if you're interested, right? And you want to start talking about how much you're interested or what you might do when it comes to price and everything. The worst place that you could start to talk about strategy with writing an offer is somewhere in or even near that home. I mean, if you have a Ring camera, you know how sensitive those mics can be. They can pick up sound pretty clearly 10, 15 feet away. So I always, if my people seem interested, I always bring them out to the end of the driveway. Let's have a conversation near our vehicles, where we're out of earshot of any potential prying technology, where, our lips can't be read, whatever it might be, but yeah, be careful out there, guys. All right. So now, without further ado, let's take a look at my conversation with Molly and Lisa. Okay, I would like to welcome Lisa McConaughey and Molly Safran to Real Estate Bites. This is Lisa's second appearance. The first time we talked about the new septic rules in Lorain County. And this is Ms. Molly's first appearance on Real Estate Bites. So thanks for joining me, ladies. So we're here to talk today about some changes that we've seen in the marketplace. Demand is slumping. I've read articles recently and talked about it here on the show about record number of low sales. In 2023, it was the lowest sales ever on record. 2024 seems like it's going to even beat that number on the low side by a few percent. And let's talk about why. So I wanted to ask you two on because you are the top agents on Right Sales team. You're having career years. You've both broken out this year. You have amazing numbers, an amazing amount of transactions. And so you guys have really seen what's happened in this marketplace in real time and can educate our audience about what's going on. So I want to talk. Want to bring it to Molly first. Molly, I've had listings that I put on the market just recently that 6 months ago they would have been slam dunks. They would have sold very quickly, most likely with a competition going above asking price. But today they're sitting for 2-3 weeks before I even get an offer. Have you seen anything like this?
Yes, I definitely have. I recently had a listing that I put up, and when I first met with them, I thought this is gonna sell no problem. Like we'll have it sold within the weekend, you know. And we ended up putting it up a couple weeks later, and it sat, and we did a price reduction, and it was on the market for 45 days. They decided to put in new flooring. Once they put in the new flooring, it was under contract within 2 days. So I think it definitely shows that if you want top dollar, you have to have your house in top dollar condition. You can't just throw your house on the market anymore and expect to get top price if you haven't cared for it, or it has outdated flooring, or maybe it needs painted. Just all the things like that.
Sellers, take note. If you want top market value, you have to have the house prepared for it. Buyers are pushing back against overpaying for houses. Lisa, what have you been seeing out there?
I just had the same situation Molly did, actually. I had a house sitting on the market for, if I look at my screen, it was on the market 57 days. A couple weeks ago, we put in a new kitchen, and within 2 days of that, and the small price reduction, it went under contract.
hmm Anything else going on with buyers? I know you've been working a lot of buyers recently. What are you seeing out there? Why are buyers seem to be getting scared?
I have a buyer right now who told me a story. But he was just kind of picking apart a couple things in houses, which are small things, to what I would consider small things. Um, and we were talking about home inspection, and he did say that his sister bought a home without a home inspection, and she's very sorry for it, because a lot of things have went wrong. And I think there was a lot of that buyer remorse going on out there right now, and people are talking to each other.
It's a great point. I mean, for what, 2-3 years in a row, it was such an intense market for buyers that a lot of people would put in offers sight unseen. A lot of people would, write exceedingly above asking price because they were sick of losing in the marketplace. And to your point, they're probably regretting some of those decisions. And you know, just like with your client you were talking about, this is a family member who bought in that marketplace where they ended up overpaying, or making a decision, in this case, no inspections, that they regretted. And like you said, they're talking about it. Um, Molly, do you think, we hear a lot? I don't like to blame politics uh, for what might be going on in the marketplace. Policies and politics are different, right? Politics are, what we see on TV leading up into the election, and all the rhetoric that goes back and forth, versus policies are when some sort of law or something is actually enacted that actually affects the marketplace. And I don't want to blame the election. There are the upcoming election for anything that might be happening in the marketplace, but there's other things going on in the country. Do you think economics are affecting people?
Yeah, I definitely think it's less about the election and more about the fact that inflation is just so high right now. Groceries cost more, home insurance is costing more, which is bringing people's house payments up. So I think definitely people are struggling now more than ever to probably save money for a down payment. And if you're using, programs where you do no money down, you're obviously going to see a bigger house payment. And I think those numbers are starting to really affect people. Like I don't think people can afford high prices and high interest rates. Um, so I think it's more about that than it is about politics, I feel.
And I mean, the median size home sold in Lorain County is about 1,700 square foot. The median value is somewhere between 215 and 245. And that's, that's your blue collar worker, right? That's your, show up and punch in the time clock worker, which is, I mean, Cleveland kind of, we hang our hat on that salt of the earth kind of, hardworking man and woman, who's going and putting in their time every day to take care of the family. And those are the people countrywide that are being affected by what you're talking about, right? And so when we're talking about median values of homes being sold falling right in line with them, well, that's the majority of shoppers right there. That's obviously going to put a damper on there. When it comes to other economics, Lisa, like, what are you seeing?
I see there's a lot of publicity around the, talking about the Feds bringing the rates down. So I feel like there's a lot of people out there just waiting that they can get, they can get more home for less money if the rates come down. So I know they're watching those rates.
That's excellent. Excellent stuff. So note to sellers, or anybody in the audience who may know somebody who's looking to sell a home. This market has changed. How long it's going to stay like this with demand having decreased a bit, but it has definitely changed. I don't know if it's changed enough yet to affect prices, put downward pressure on prices. I mean, we track these stats every week on Real Estate Bites, and median home values and median square foot values haven't continued to increase. But I think, we're in the last month of the quarter, heading into Q4 2024, and I think through these next 4 months, we'll see. The evidence will be out there whether or not this demand and the decrease in demand is going to affect real-time prices every day. But the reality is this, right? Sellers, if you want top market value, you better make sure your house is buttoned up and ready to go. Understand that there's a lot of remorse out there for buyers who felt pressured or rushed into situations in the past. Buyers are talking. They're talking to friends and family members who bought and regret the decisions that they made. So they may be coming to the market very, very wary. They still want to buy, but they're wary, right? Some buyers may be waiting for rates to drop, and some buyers are just in a harder situation. So, the three of us, as well as the rest of the team, recently talked to a loan officer who educated us on loan level price adjustments. I think I need to get Rocco on here to talk about that kind of stuff. But this is something that affects conventional borrowers and not FHA borrowers. So again, note to sellers, buyers are having a harder time right now, and it's affecting their demand. And if offers come through and they are FHA, that's not a bad thing. If they're VA, that's not a bad thing. And if your agent is saying things that are scaring you away from them, if the condition of your house is decent, you shouldn't be scared of it. You should definitely entertain those FHA offers. Hey, listen, we're talking about a tough market, ladies, right? And 2023 was the lowest number of recorded sales on history. 2024 is going to be even lower. I've heard gurus and pundits on podcasts that I listen to talk about how 2023 was the hardest market ever to work in, and 2024 is proving to be even harder. However, you both have had breakout years. So, I want to thank you and congratulate you on being great agents, okay? I'm very blessed and lucky to have you on Right Sales Team, and very blessed and lucky to have you join me today on Real Estate Bites. So thank you very much, and I hope that your weekend's beautiful, and go Browns.
Go
Thank you,
Browns.
Jonathan. Go Browns.
All right, ladies, thank you. So that was my conversation with Lisa and Molly in regards to what's going on in the market and what's causing pressures with supply and demand, why we're seeing demand diminished here recently. And like I was saying there, I don't know when this is going to change. I don't foresee it happening for a terribly long amount of time, simply because the Fed, I think when you see the interest rates where the market woke up this morning, the market's already priced in at least one rate cut from the Fed. The Fed plans on doing between 2 and 4 by the end of the year. And I think coming into next spring, barring, any major economic turns, we'll probably see demand level back out again. Prices stabilize right about where they are now, and go back to the new normal of a market, which is basically very low inventory, these higher prices that we've gotten used to, and steady demand. All right. That said, let's take a look at these statistics that I've been talking about here. So these statistics come from the local MLS. I pull Lorain County stats and use those as a sample size for what's going on basically throughout the majority of the country, excluding the coasts. Most of the country follows the same patterns that we're tracking here in Lorain County on Real Estate Bites. So this morning, there were 418 housing units. That is condos and single families. Multifamilies and mobile homes are not included here, just as single families and condos. 418 units were available for sale this morning. You can see that inventory has remained pretty steady over the last month. So there were 64 closings last week. The median square feet of each of those closings was 1,731 square foot in the home. The median home value was $235,000. Median square foot price, $158.55. Again, that remains high. You can see the past few weeks, it's been high, but that 158 level, that remains consistent. When we closed out last quarter, we had an average median square foot value of 156.17, which was higher than the preceding quarter. And if you look at these numbers, my expectation here in a few weeks when Q3 closes out is that we are going to see an increase over this number as well. All right. That's what I'm talking about. So as of right now, in real time, this decrease in demand has not affected home values in a negative manner. But if there is persistent decrease in demand, it certainly will. That's just how economics goes. That's basic economics. I am no Thomas Sowell. I am no Milton Friedman. But that supply and demand is the most elementary forces in economics. All right. That said, median days on market for last week's closings was 26. You can see that's a jump up in the last month here, right? 6.35% were the interest rates on a conventional note this morning. It's, again, another improvement over what we've seen here recently. You can see the past, 5 weeks, these rates have steadily dropped week after week. 6.35% is not indicative of what you would actually pay. This is before loan level price adjustment. And this is something that we learned about recently. I talked about it a bit there with Molly and Lisa. But the loan level price adjustment is something that we were recently educated on from a loan officer. That is a very interesting topic, a very interesting cost that is significant. It is a significant cost to the borrower when they are forced and subject to a loan level price adjustment. So I'm looking to get a loan officer on to talk about that and have a conversation and educate you guys, because really, if you buy a product that has this loan level price adjustment on top of it, you are going to pay significantly more, and it is meaningful in this marketplace. Okay. All right, moving on. The high sale of the week was $700,000 in Avon, and we will go and take a quick look at this house on Restivo Court in Redtail over in Avon. So again, it's Redtail. I think Redtail's made the list 3 or 4 times since I started doing this. Episode 57, maybe more than 3 or 4 times, but Redtail's a somewhat frequent neighborhood, which makes sense. A private gated, beautiful golf community. Let's take a look. So, we're not going to go too deep into this, guys, because we've seen this before. I do like this kitchen, though. I'll say it. I like to show some of these features. One of the things that I really, really enjoy is the way they use the color. I've never seen so much white in a space look so good. But the way that everything is kind of whitewashed, and then they use a couple bold colors here and there as accents, is really, really attractive. And that's kind of just what I wanted to show. So you can see there's white everywhere, but it makes this mauve colored furniture pop. It makes the stone fireplace pop. It makes the green from the outside pop, right? Just a nice balance there. I probably would never, no, I know I would never put so much white in my house, but the way it's done here, and look, this is like in reverse order. You have the gray walls, and then they whitewashed the fireplace. But nice balance there. At any rate, that is a wrap on Real Estate Bites, episode number 57. I appreciate you guys joining me as always. If you guys find value in this information, somebody else you know does, please share this stuff with them. Get friends and family, get people who are interested in the market watching. We're bringing good information to you every single week, bringing great guests on with great insight, and love having you, of course. Hey, as always, I love you people. Take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. I'm going to go take a nap.